receiver steps up, end zone shot. It is caught, dragging the feet is the rookie Bryant. His first NFL catch, a Monday night touchdown.
Somebody needed to step up for the Steelers and take over as the number 2 receiver.
You know Mike Tomlin, he said, he's talented, it's time to take the wrapper off him.
Martavis Bryant came into the league in 2014 as a highly skilled but raw receiver out of Clemson. At 6'4" and running a 4.42 40, the Steelers couldn't resist drafting him when he fell to the 4th round.
Threaded to Bryant for his second catch.
He was inactive until the 7th game of his rookie year, and his addition immediately ignited the Killer Bees. Bryant's top-end speed added an element the Steelers were missing. Double AB, there's this guy.
Ready today as Pittsburgh now has a second conversion on the little flip to Le'Veon Bell for 12.
Stop the run, that's when you hit the alien.
Going to go to start the second quarter, and Roethlisberger has another touchdown pass. And this one goes to the rookie, Bryant.
After his first career reception against the Texans went for a score, Bryant followed up the next week with a pair more as part of Ben's famous 6-touchdown, 522-yard slaughtering of the Colts.
And Ben's going long, he's got a man there! It's Bryant in stride and out of bounds near the 20.
And how about this new target? Stack the receivers wide. That way you cannot bump him at the line of scrimmage.
Yep, it's Darius Butler, Vontae Davis's replacement, who gets beat for 52 yards.
Oh yeah, and those other bees, they were still there.
Take the field goal off the board, looking for the touchdown to the end zone, and the catch is made! What a catch by Antonio Brown!
The Steelers had become a veritable pick-your-poison offense. With Roethlisberger playing at an all-world level, Pittsburgh just tortured defenses.
Here's Roethlisberger. It's away from the sack, throws downfield, got a man who's taking it in. It's Brown again. Antonio Brown for the second time in this quarter. Second and goal. Roethlisberger pops it in the air, and it's caught for a touchdown, and there it is, number 5 for Ben.
Look at the placement of these passes. They're all ridiculously perfect. Like him or not, for a while, Ben and Todd Haley produced sweet music together.
Fireworks continue in the second half here in Pittsburgh.
But you know what Tomlin says, you gotta prove it in AFC North football. The most striking thing about the Killer Bees was how quickly they could turn a game. Losing at home 7-0 a week after their 51-point outburst, any other team might have been in for a letdown game. Not the Killer Bees. Just line up your running back out wide and throw him a seed. Good luck.
3-man rush. Pass caught. Touchdown. Le'Veon Bell.
4 minutes later, you have a touchdown lead on your rivals. You'll love to see it.
5 receivers. All going out. Ben in the end zone. Caught. Touchdown. Bryant. And Bryant, who was inactive for the first 6 games, has now scored his 4th touchdown in 3 games. And this baby has turned on a dime.
Bunches and bunches and bunches of points. Roethlisberger would throw 6 scores for a record 2nd straight game, and this offense was on fire.
Good, clean pocket. Deep throw. Caught on the run. Wheaton, touchdown.
The play of the other receivers out there. Martavis Bryant, Marcus Wheaton, Lance Moore. They start making plays. You can no longer double team Antonio Brown.
Ben hanging in the pocket, fires Brown, makes the catch. Turns it inside, breaking tackles. Antonio Brown all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
And for Jimmy Smith on the outside, no match for Antonio Brown, and you can only say one thing about that young man this year. Wow. When he gets in the open field, and John Harbaugh knew it, he said, if we allow him to get going and be in the open field, we will not get him on the ground, and he showed exactly what Harbaugh was talking about.
Over the middle, Roethlisberger throwing. Bryant, touchdown. Martavis Bryant, inactive for the first 6 games. He's played in a little less than 3 NFL games. He has 5 touchdown receptions.
Not a lot is certain in this world, but I do know if your number 2 receiver has 5 touchdowns on his first 10 catches, you're probably in a good place.
I tell you, this Martavis Bryant, they don't want to put too much on his plate, but I don't know. I think I'd be piling it on like a Thanksgiving dinner.
And the crazy thing is, he just kept doing it.
Ben going deep, looking for Bryant. He got it! What a catch! Martavis Bryant.
As a supposedly raw rookie, Bryant put up 8 touchdowns in 10 games.
First and 10, he downfield, he's got the receiver, Martavis Bryant, who just smoked Adams.
Unfortunately, the Killer Bees' first playoff run would be doomed before it began due to a Week 17 injury to Le'Veon Bell, who was the linchpin of the offense.
And they are going to start with Ben Tate at running back. He just got here this week. They go 5 wide on 3rd down and goal. Roethlisberger fires, caught to the 4-yard line goes Martavis Bryant.
Not that the remaining Bees didn't go down swinging.
The fumble recovery and a first down at the 45-yard line, and Ben is going to go for it. Oh, to Brown. He catches it. Touchdown.
After AB was ruled down short of the goal line, the Steelers looked to their touchdown machine, and Bryant did what he does.
Across the formation in motion. And Ben throws, and that will be hauled in by Bryant for a touchdown.
While they would come up short due to having no real threat on the ground or out of the backfield, heading into 2015, Steelers fans could only be optimistic that the team would continue to rise.
I'm told that Martavis Bryant is facing this 4-game suspension for multiple violations of the NFL's substances of abuse policy. It is for failing several marijuana tests. Now,
to quote the poet Coolio,
here it goes.
Look, as I said with Le'Veon, I've got no issue with weed, but I can't tell this story without it. Between Bryant and Bell's suspensions, as well as an early season injury to Roethlisberger, 2015 would get off to a bumpy start.
Jones throws, and it is a touchdown to Martavis Bryant. The first touchdown pass in the career of Landry Jones.
Friendly reminder to all you Landry Jones haters, watch these throws and tell me he shouldn't have been on the team last year.
Fair look. Put it down. And wide open is Bryant.
In a game I personally attended, the Steelers could get nothing started with Michael Vick at quarterback. But luckily, Landry Jones came in and remembered he was throwing to Antonio Brown and Martavis Bryant.
What did Todd Haley call him the other day? The alien. Yeah, as in from another planet. Yeah, right? He was sure high on him. He's having a nice afternoon with 5 catches.
Look at this throw by Landry. Dime over all-pro corner Pat Peterson. Eat me, Yinzers. Landry Jones was a quality backup quarterback. We now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
First down reception by Bryant. Still on his feet. One man to beat is Peterson behind him. Martavis Bryant to the end zone.
I've watched a lot of football. This is one of the most freaky athletic plays I have ever seen. Those are elite professional athletes chasing him. Tyrann Mathieu, Patrick Peterson, and they look like they're in quicksand.
Well, it's a simple slant route by Martavis Bryant. Tyrann Mathieu is in coverage, and a lot of missed opportunities to make a play on the ball carrier, but this is what we heard about on Friday from Todd Haley.
Oh yeah, and this was also his first game of the season. 6 catches, 137 yards, and 2 scores playing with Landry Jones and the ghost of Michael Vick. In his first action of the year. I wholeheartedly believe that Martavis Bryant is one of the biggest missed opportunities, not only on the Steelers, but perhaps the entire league, or even American sports on the whole. I believe strongly that he could have been a Pro Bowl caliber starter, if he wanted it.
And we'll throw it down the sideline, leaping for it. Bryant breaks one tackle, not the second though, but a first out of the 40-yard line.
Give credit to Ben Roethlisberger. The first time they come out and play man-to-man coverage on Martavis Bryant on the outside with Greg Tolver, he goes right to it and comes up with a big play.
Good clean pocket, fires to the sideline, caught. Antonio Brown out of bounds after another big gain.
There's a zone defense. Antonio Brown on your left is just going to hit that gap in the hole, and that is a tough throw for Roethlisberger. You have to throw that very early to get that in.
Remember what I was saying about how quickly the Killer Bees could turn a game?
Antonio Brown working on Davis, wins the matchup. They go 80 yards in 10 plays.
The Steelers were losing 10-6 with 4:07 left in the first half. Peep the scoreboard.
Down the sideline, getting free, Martavis Bryant, and he will go all the way to the end zone.
Seems like every time we do a game, he scores a touchdown or two. He's already caught a long one tonight. He is a freakish athlete. Physically, he's as talented as anybody playing in football right now.
7 minutes later, 28-10. Deuces, Colts.
And that's 22 unanswered points. Roethlisberger, 3 touchdowns and already 291 yards. 28-10.
Now stacked with a pair of dynamic game-changing receivers in Bryant and Brown, but again down Bell, albeit this time with the decidedly quality D'Angelo Williams in tow, the Steelers rode Roethlisberger into the playoffs at 10-6. Pittsburgh averaged 345 yards per game passing in their final 7, and the defense improved steadily, led by the emergence of Ryan Shazier's dynamic ability. And where does all of this take us? To the so-called Queen City.
And all their playoff experience, you can't ignore that. Roethlisberger will be coming on the field with 10 all-time postseason victories, a couple of Super Bowl wins, a franchise so decorated with all of its incredible accomplishments, 6 Super Bowl titles in Pittsburgh history, and they're coming from the 6th position as they did 10 years ago.
Catch you next time on the Killer Bees. Part 4, Steelers at Bengals.